here we are at the start of Pyongyang in its car park, and it's basically our gates over here. People come here on a Sunday afternoon to listen to the Dharma, to practice their meditation. They'll arrive here and then they make their way through to the temple proper. And the first thing they encounter is the lovely lake.
Beautiful.
We have a statue here of Kuan Yin, the originally Chinese goddess of mercy, now incorporated into Buddhism as a bodhisattva or Buddha to be of compassion. Often those who don't necessarily know their faith in Buddhism or that particular will often refer to her as the Lady Buddha.
Okay.
I like the Lady Buddha.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. Know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of wildlife here, there's a lot of waterfowl. As we came down, there were a couple of rabbits running along the hill. There are peacocks on the place. What's one of the fun parts of actually picnicking in this area is actually picnicking around the kangaroo droppings. Because they're around here too.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting spot. It's this very traditional Chinese temple smack in the middle of an Australian bushland setting sort of a thing.
Yeah,
So it's
I love
wonderful
that.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you start to see the actual buildings themselves that just sort of come through
Yeah.
in that traditional Chinese setting.
When was this place? When did it begin? Like,
It started, was originally horse stables, and none of this was here.
yeah.
This was all just pasture land. And when we go towards the buildings at the back of the main temple, they're the original horse stables.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a stud
Yeah.
farm, and there's still some stud farms on the other side of the path.
Oh yeah, I noticed those on the way in. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was probably. I moved into the area in the start of the 1990s, and it was operating as a temple then, but without any of these buildings being here at that particular stage. It was
Okay.
just the stud farm building.
Yeah.
So the big sort of, they hadn't been properly renovated. They were quite open, quite bare, cold, that sort of thing, but they were functioning.
So a lot of work and dedication's gone in
Yes.
from the community.
And a lot of donations.
Yeah.
Of course, you don't see the lotuses at the present moment. You sort of see the ending of the lotuses in the lake, but come sort of the lake summer that is filled with lotus, and on Sunday the waterfall just sort of gushes down as well.
And
Obviously,
there's a significance to the lotus, isn't there?
it is.
Yeah.
So what it basically represents is the lotus, at its roots, at its very centre, is mired in the filth of the pond, the mire, the muck, to be frank, the shit.
Yeah.
And it rises up from that, and when it reaches up and extends out of the earth, so out of the water, it's pristine, it's pure, and it sort of represents that here we are living again in suffering, but we have this opportunity to rise above that in purity. And purity in Buddhism doesn't necessarily mean clean. It can mean simply unadulterated, that the mind is brilliant, bright, blissful. It's not bogged down by the shit of our normal everyday thinking, so that's the sort of symbol of it. The mind is arisen out of everyday existence and its suffering to be this brilliant, wise, compassionate expression of our nature.
It's a beautiful description of transcendence, really, isn't it?
Yeah. In this life.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, what we can achieve in this very existence.
Yeah. Wow.
So the informal tea house, which is part of the idea of a temple, that people can actually gather. Tea, of course, is a fundamental practice in the Chinese, Japanese and Korean styles of Buddhism,
Okay.
representing the sort of one-pointed dedication to a very simple act, the full engrossing of ourselves in an act. That is done often when you're doing the tea service. There is a person making the tea for somebody else, and so that again that exchange that occurs between two people of this kindness, this act that we're engaging in, and we're doing it mindfully, wholeheartedly. Along the walls we have statues of what are sometimes considered the 16 arhats, or the 16, sometimes 10 great disciples of the Buddha. So representing the fact that it really is a human practice practice. You know, one of the sort of core elements of Buddhism is that the Buddha was not a divine figure, he was a human figure. And that what he achieved in terms of his spiritual and mental and emotional development is within us. That, you know, we're not separate from that possibility. That it's a uniquely human experience, not just for the divine.
Yeah. Okay. And would you say that that's one of the core elements that has led to Buddhism translating in recent years very much into Western thought and reflection?
I do. I think, you know, because people are, and it's no critique against those who do want to worship the divine. Certainly, as I was saying, Buddhism has that element in it too for those who wish to see that.
Yes.
But there is a lot of people sort of questioning, you know, where is the divine in my life? And Buddhism sort of says, you know, it's not necessary in order for you to experience both wisdom and compassion in your own experience.